How's it going, everybody? Rob here, back with another video for you guys. And, well, we are going to be looking at a creator that I haven't responded to in quite some time. I'm kind of curious about some of the things that they've been doing. And like I said in a previous video, periodically, I may check in on these people every once in a while. But, you know, before we get into a piece of content that they created, I quickly want to look at something because I thought this was kind of hilarious and, if I may, a little bit hypocritical. So, initially, this was a post from Kanon, and I'm just gonna read this because I'm gonna read the response of the said individual in a second. So, this person wrote, "Attacking me or my character isn't changing the merits of the argument I have made. What you can infer from an ad hominem, I don't know why I can't talk, ad hominem attack. Your argument is strong, or your opponent has poor argumentative skills, or no real argument." Do I have the button? Do I have the button up on here? Yeah, that's the pot calling the kettle black, but we won't go into that right now. And I've already proven that time and time again. But if I make a post about comments someone made regarding a particular subject, like dogs at parks or capitalism, for instance, and all that person does is start making personal attacks and irrelevant comments, they cannot defend their disposition. Funny that they're saying this. It's such a basic ass intro logic no-no. It's also indicative of a terrible person and personality. If they start trying to basically just shit talk you because they have no argument, especially when they proceed to be hypocritical in the process. A great example would be them posting about you and clearly seeking attention for it, e.g. doing it publicly, while claiming that this is what you are doing. Also, if that same person has actually made countless posts and creepy, unnecessary videos about you and several others in the past, they have no room to talk about anything like that. Funny. You know, again, you know, person making, you know, countless posts and creepy videos on one particular subject. Okay. But no, we're not going to focus on them today. We are focusing on this. This comment right here. This top one. Right here. I get that a lot. It only shows how immature they are, insulting random strangers' appearance because they disagree with some rational/grounded arguments about, or that's too advanced for them to wrap their heads around and emotionally triggers them, is pathetic. It's an instant game over. Funny. You know, a lot of times when, you know, I'm just going to say this because I always thought this was hilarious. Man, I've had individuals like this periodically, you know, insult me, try to shame me for my weight and stuff, which again, you know, I've been on the internet for too long. I don't really give a shit. But it's like, it's so sad and pathetic that people try to do that. And in a sense, try to, you know, try to damage my character, which, by the way, without evidence, that's grounds for defamation, which, if I wanted to, or if I, let's say, in the event that I wanted to be that petty, I could, you know, look at the evidence that I have, and, you know, maybe, you know, take that into a higher level. But again, I'm not petty. At the same time, it's funny to respond to these people at this point because they try so hard to devalue other people that are against their argument. But anyway, with this particular individual, again, they've tried to take personal pot shots at me. Overall, have tried to claim things about my character which were not true. And by the way, repeatedly, I have asked them for evidence on certain things, like them claiming I bullied somebody, which again, I have repeatedly asked them in the comments to, show me evidence of me actually bullying someone. And every time, they refuse to respond. Or redirect, saying that I'm bullying them because I have them in the thumbnail. Which, I'm allowed to do that. So, anyway. This video, we're going to focus on one of their videos. Apparently, ex-veterinarian hates dogs and dog owners. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. A lot of birds. Okay. They're cute. I wouldn't have them as pets. They're a pain in the ass. It's funny when people like this, bitch and moan about, how unclean, dogs are, yet you have birds that carry diseases as well. I'm just saying, come on. It's hypocritical. And oh my god, that creepy Garfield. I know somebody else who has a freaking Garfield like that. Anyway.
Having pets is all fun and games until they get injured or sick. My heart really goes out to anyone who has a pet that...
Wait, I paused it. Maybe she says more.
...is injured or sick.
Except for dogs.
Especially if your pet is not a cat or a dog. Why, you might ask? Is it because I wish harm on cats and dogs?
Yes, you do.
No. It is simply because if you have a pet that is sick or injured who is not a cat or a dog, finding a veterinarian who has the knowledge, time, and willingness to help you and your sick pet is a near impossible task. And
not really.
If you manage to find a veterinarian who has the time, willingness, and skill to help your sick pet, you will still have to go and visit the veterinary clinic.
I mean, I've heard people, I doubt that's actually true. I mean, overall, veterinarians are usually well-versed in terms of, dealing with either birds or, various other animals. I don't think, I doubt it's a veterinarian is, specialized to only one type of pet. I mean, in terms of veterinarians, I doubt they are only specialized into one or two particular animals. It doesn't make any sense. Otherwise, they'd be a really shit veterinarian.
Doesn't sound so bad at first. Until you realize that most animals that will be in this veterinary clinic are going to be predators. Predators like cats.
Oh my gosh. And now you lost it. Come on. Are you kidding me? This seems very disingenuous.
That would happily chase and eat your pet if given the chance. Create...
if that's the case, then why do you have a Garfield plush? Let's be honest here. Why do you have a Garfield plush? And a Stitch plush, right? Why would you have those if you're that worried about predators? Let's be honest here.
A very hostile and stressful environment.
Prey animals experience stress in the presence of predators. This stress arises from the constant threat of predation and can manifest as both physical and psychological responses.
Most animals that are at a veterinary clinic might be injured, might be sick. You don't know what kind of diseases they might actually carry, which is not only dangerous for you.
Out of curiosity, types of diseases pet birds can carry. So let's see. Types of diseases pet birds can carry. Pet birds can carry a variety of diseases, some of which can be transmitted to humans. Zoonotic disease. Common examples include cladiosis, pediculosis, avian tuberculosis, salmonellosis, aspergillosis. Other potential diseases include Candida. I'm gonna screw this up. So there's a variety of different things that can. So let's see. I'm trying to find some of the severe ones. Okay, avian tuberculosis can cause respiratory infection and other issues in both birds and humans, especially those with weakened immune systems. Aspergillosis is a fungal infection that can affect the respiratory system and other organs in birds and humans. Cryptococcosis, another fungal disease that can affect the respiratory system. Okay. So basically, quite a few things that affect the respiratory, some things that affect the digestive system. So, it's in terms of so here's my biggest question is, if you're worried about diseases caused by, in a sense, cats or dogs, I'm not gonna denounce a dog or an animal by calling them just like predatory animal, but if you're worried about diseases and stuff from these particular animals, then shouldn't you be concerned about the diseases from your own pets? I mean, why risk if you're worried about diseases, Because in a sense, your birds are literally could be, screwing up your respiratory system.
It is also dangerous for your pet. Personally, I am traumatized by incompetent veterinarians, scummy, greedy, and heartless veterinary clinics, and dogs and dog owners who frequently visit these veterinary clinics.
Well, I mean, it's a veterinary clinic. It's for all animals, including dogs and cats. What's the if you think that you're just gonna have what's the point of this video? Really? I gotta ask that. What's the point of this video?
Creating chaos and discord for everyone around.
Okay.
And I am not the only one who has bad experiences like this. I was recently scrolling through a little internet forum called Reddit. And it was a Reddit forum.
That was a really meh. That was meh.
There was a post that was so interesting that I instantly contacted this person who wrote this post and asked them for permission if I would be allowed to share their story in a video online.
Okay.
They said yes.
And you made it public, which case in the event that some of us, look at your video, we can respond to it. So, in a sense, you shared it, and other people are allowed to respond to it. So, anyway. Disclaimer. The writer of the following material has given their permission for it to be shared and narrated. I do not profit or claim any ownership or rights to the written featured material. All rights belong to the original writer, and few minor parts may have been left out, but no altering or original text has been made. So, in other words, there's a good chance that this could be fabricated. I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, there's a very good chance that this could have been fabricated. Which, I hate to say it, but that's par for the course for some of these people. Anyway, let's go.
Here's a perspective from a former seasoned veterinary professional dealing with dogs and their owners.
Okay.
I just finished my last week of being a veterinary technician for almost a decade.
Okay.
For my mental health, I had to leave the field, 'cause, my God, I cannot stand dogs and their humans. I originally went into the field to gain experiences for veterinary school. Like many, I had a childhood dream of becoming a veterinarian because I loved animals. Then I decided not to go to vet school, so I stayed as a tech, since I was really good at it and liked the technical aspects. I was an absolute boss at venipuncture, from drawing blood to placing IV catheters, and I loved it. But I was surrounded by so many dogs and dog matters who were clients, co-workers,
now
bosses.
I know that this was fabricated. Okay, because you had to add that. Prior vet tech. Sorry, I'm just gonna quickly do something real quick. Experiences with dogs. Huh. Okay. So, let's see. Makes sense. It's on dog free. Okay. No, you know, it's an actual post. Okay. Interesting. Though, something tells me that this is still fabricated. It's Reddit. What do you expect?
They were everywhere. I had no idea how crazy these people were and how stupid dogs were until I was brought into my second job. I started out as a kennel tech at a really shitty low-income clinic. So I just assumed that because the clinic was a low cost, it attracted really shit people. Nope. It remained as a constant in any clinical setting I worked at, from emergency to specialty. I started out really young and naive. Oh my God, animals are precious. Of course I'm gonna love working in the vet field. Little did I know that I would come to hate the vet field simply because of dogs and their owners.
Okay.
I've worked with many other species as well, including reptiles and large animals. I enjoy them all, except dogs. Why? Because they are garbage.
Okay.
Just like their...
It's kind of... It's... I mean, considering that, you know, you're a vet tech, I mean, at some point you have to work with, you know, animals like dogs. I mean, why would you, you know, become a vet tech if you know you're supposed to be working with dogs? Makes no sense whatsoever.
Owners. Number one.
Okay.
People don't train or socialize their dogs.
Yes, they do.
Every day was a fucking nightmare, wrestling with dogs, trying to get diagnostics done like blood work and imaging.
Okay.
We had to get real creative dealing with those fuckers to get the diagnostics we needed. Owners refuse to give sedation meds beforehand because they don't believe their angel child misbehaves in any way. The entitlement these people have is insane. Like owner, like dog. Completely oblivious and expecting all the love from everyone despite their shitty actions and attitude.
I mean, so is there an example of them being shitty? Like, again, I feel like this person, I'm trying to understand the logic here, because in a sense, again, you're a person who you become a vet tech, and you know you're supposed to work with various animals. I mean, I would have to guess that, especially if you're being trained to become a vet tech, or at least work with animals, you know how certain animals are, or how to work with certain animals. I mean, regardless of that, and I can only imagine, like, you know, other animals being a handful too in terms of like dealing with them. I can only imagine the headache it is to, you know, try to do a checkup or something for freaking birds, or, you know, other animals like freaking reptiles. But it's like, and I'm not dissing on them or anything, like, for complaining, but it's like, you know that what you're working with. Why are you, like, it boggles my mind. It really is. And there's really, like, no example. It's just like, you know, at this point it almost feels like just vague and veiled, like, you know, exaggerations of people. It really does. Because there's really, like, no example. Just like, oh, they're shitty. They're shitty attitudes. It's like, well, like, can you give us an example of them being shitty?
I was known as the tech who doesn't take shit from anyone by the people that liked and knew me. The people that hated me. A few clients and coworkers thought I was just mean. No, it's that I don't allow people and animals to run me over. It was very clear to me that most dog people
if they're fucking, it's animals. Are you literally gonna say that, you know, you're letting animals run over you? I mean, come on.
Have boundaries and don't respect other people's boundaries, just like dogs.
Oh my God.
Number 2, people just don't understand dogs at all.
That's bullshit.
Dogs were bred to work and have a specific job. Not to be another human walking on all fours that barks or whines instead of talk. People literally treat their dogs as if they're just another human. Because dogs don't have the mental capacity to judge or be self-aware, so people feel accepted and loved by them. I've witnessed people literally talk to them like they understand what they are saying, and it's a form of attention, so dogs love it, of course. And when the dogs are left alone, since their human has to go to work, the dog tears up the house, eats everything in sight, and has to be brought in for a foreign body surgery.
I mean, that's if they're not trained. I mean, unfortunately, that does happen, but at the same time, a lot of people are able to, you know, train their animal to act a certain way and not do certain things. Normally, it's like when you get them as a puppy, you train them to understand certain cues. Feel sorry for the dogs that, unfortunately, you know, they have, you know, shit owners, and I think that's the biggest issue, is the fact that, you know, certain people are shit dog owners. I think that's the major problem in the whole thing.
Also, people cook and feed their dogs human food, as if dogs can digest the same foods we eat. Human food can cause a dog to be so sick due to high...
I find it funny that she used the cartoon, for the Scooby-Doo cartoon, for that. It's like, dude, that's a fucking cartoon. And yeah, you know, granted, there are certain people that are kind of stupid, that don't research what certain dogs can eat, or what dogs can eat. But overall, again, a lot of people do the research ahead of time. Not everyone is the same way, and it's kind of ignorant to try to, like, to lump everyone together.
Fat content, and when the owner shows up to the ER with their dog that has raging pancreatitis, the owner says, "But I cook fluffy real food like steak and burgers every single day. What do you mean he's sick and has to eat?"
I feel like this is, I feel like this is fabricated. I feel like this story is fabricated. I mean, okay, it's on Reddit. It is on Reddit, but I feel like this story is a fabrication. Because I will say that this, like, why would an owner give honestly, I feel like, considering the fact that this person has a Garfield freaking plush, I feel like in the event, I hate to accuse, like, I just, allegedly, let's say allegedly, this individual just made a puff piece, a fake post of this story to make content. Are they getting their inspiration from Garfield? Like, I gotta ask that. I have to ask that, because it just seems, yeah. But looking at this, and I find it funny that in the event, especially with a veterinarian, why would they care if a person feeds their dogs or their animals like steak or burgers? I mean, they're making the money off of them.
Eat dog food now.
I'm not saying that's a good thing.
Now has to be on an expensive, low-fat prescription food forever. Congrats! And what's even better is they still feed the high-fat foods while feeding the low-fat dog food. And when the dog gets pancreatitis again a month later and almost dies from it, the owner goes, "Oh, but I only feed him like 1 or 2 fries from McDonald's. That shouldn't have cost it, right?" It sure did, ma'am. Congratulations. Again.
Yeah, I do think that this is just a fake story. I mean, it is a post from Reddit, but I do feel like this is a fake story.
Number 3. People don't plan and save money before getting a dog, like people usually do when they plan to have a family and have kids. Then they blame us.
A lot of people don't. Dude, okay. There are a lot of times where a lot of people don't even plan to have kids. It happens. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, oh my gosh.
When they have $0 to treat the ailments that they caused by being completely irresponsible. Example. Big dog gets out of the yard because it was being reactive towards another dog on a leash. Attacks that dog and gets hit by a car. Shows up to the ER vet, being super upset with $0 to their name and aggressive dog in pain with a broken pelvis. All we can do is euthanize for free because they didn't get approved by Care Credit since their credit score is like 300. Again, irresponsible. Either dog goes home to die a painful death, or we euthanize for free. They choose to euthanize. After the ER...
A lot of times people don't. They actually show... I'll say this. Like, there's been quite a few times I've heard stories from people that literally shell a ton of freaking money just to take care of their animals. So, they're just, in terms of, like, a dog, getting hurt and going to the ER, and then just, like, immediately euthanizing it is bullshit.
Our visit. Same owner writes a Google review saying, "They killed my dog and refused to help."
I can only imagine if that's actually true.
This situation appeared every emergency shift I worked for 5 years.
Okay.
In just different variations with the same punchline.
I mean, I'm gonna say this. The only thing I'm getting out of this is literally that this person, more likely, was a shit vet tech. Vet tech. And they didn't handle, more likely, did not handle dealing with, people, and didn't handle dealing with animals. That's all, it's what I'm hearing right now.
Irresponsible owner lets something happen, has $0 to pay for it, blames everyone else for it.
No.
Does that make sense? Pets are a privilege, not a right, people. Number 4. Dogs are just plain stupid and offer nothing but superficial love.
And What about birds? I mean, dog. I would have to. I mean, dude, I got chickens, and they are the dumbest thinking things ever. Just recently, my wife and I got a turtle. I mean, not much you can do with them, but at the same time, I mean, they're there. And overall, I would say with dogs themselves, I mean, let's face it. I mean, they won't face it, but in terms of dogs, there is, I want to say some, they may not recognize it, but there is some intelligence with animals like cats or dogs. Again, they won't recognize it because they're on this whole I hate dogs motif, but overall, there is something there when it comes to animals. Birds, again, they're fucking dumb. They're fucking stupid. And again, this is coming from a guy who has like 8 fucking chickens right now. You know, I love them, but they are dumb animals.
People really do believe that dogs love them. Dogs simply just want attention and get angry or fussy when they don't get it. They're just attached.
I mean, isn't that with humans though? I mean, we're basically programmed to be very sociable creatures. And a lot of times, if we do not get attention, then we do get angry. We do get frustrated. A lot of times, we shut down. I mean, isn't that the same with humans though?
The dogs
so what's the point?
Attention. That's not love. It's a unhealthy codependency when their owners are absent to give them all the attention. They have extreme separation anxiety. After a year of only taking care of over 30 ICU patients at a time every day, several dogs will literally whine and scream for 13 hours straight.
Okay.
Because no one was sitting next to them, petting them, or within their sight. It was absolutely ridiculous and so annoying.
So again, I mean, you're gonna get the same thing with birds, though. I mean, in a sense, like where they're gonna be, you know, making a lot of noise all day. So no, it just sounds like this person was a really shit vet tech.
These are just a few reasons I left, but there's so many more. I know there are others like me, stuck in the vet field, suffering. If you read this, hang in there. Vet med is not the only thing out there for you. Work till you can find a job outside of the clinical setting, like laboratory or sales rep. Keep on living a dog-free, good life, everyone.
They tell you dogs are great.
Okay. So biggest takeaway from this video. There is a likely chance that, more likely, the story itself was, you know, fabrication. And in terms of dealing with animals, especially with you being a vet tech, why would you even go in the field or stay in a field if you didn't like dogs, or at least began to hate dogs, or I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, they said 5 years. I mean, good God. I mean, if you were that upset about, you know, dogs and the state of dogs and, you know, their owners, then why would you spend 5 or as long as it was stated in that post to just take that job? Like, really? I mean, it just goes to show that they didn't really, if this was a real post, they didn't really have a passion to care for animals whatsoever. And overall, had no place. Doesn't seem to have any place to be in the field in terms of, you know, caring for animals. And I'm going to be honest here. Let's be honest here. I mean, with you being let's say a vet tech or a med tech or whatever it is, I mean, you're there to, at the very least, do your best to care for, and I'm saying this from experience, for my own working as in substance use disorder treatment. There are going to be a lot of times where there's going to be things that are going to frustrate you, but by the end of the day, you're there to help other people, or help dogs, or whatever you're doing, whatever it is, whether it's dogs or humans, whatever, you're there to help. And if you don't have a true passion for it, then you're not going to want to be a part of that job. And it just listening to this post, listening to this person go on and on. If this was an actual like post, if this was actual story, a recount of like what person has to say, it just sounds like they clearly didn't have an actual passion for the job that they had. Again, I myself have worked in drug and alcohol treatment for nearly 7 to 9 years. And I'm still doing it. Sure, there are people that are going to frustrate you. There are people that are going to be freaking, just freaking assholes. But at the same time, you still go through it. Because by the end of the day, you're there because you want to help people. Or you want to help animals. It all depends. But I don't think this person, again, whoever they are, if this was a real post from an actual individual, it just seems like they didn't really have a passion for the job that they had. And by the end, they just got frustrated with it. So, anyway, I think for now, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys will follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care. And I'll see you guys next video.